What's up, meta nerds? This video is all about the complete life of Armitage Hux. Armitage is believed to have been born the same year as the Battle of Yavin, and he was actually the illegitimate son of Brendol Hux, a commandant for the Imperial Academy on the planet Arcanus. Papa Hux here cheated on his wife with a member of the kitchen staff. Armitage was born at this Imperial Academy, and so his very first moments in the galaxy, he was surrounded by Imperial culture. His father was known as a nasty and ruthless man, and from a young age, Armitage Hux learned to look up to the power that his father had earned, and had the seed of an idea put into his head that it would be his destiny to one day rule the galaxy. After the Battle of Endor, the New Republic had been launching assaults on countless Imperial facilities, and one of these was the notorious Imperial Academy on Arcanus. Armitage and Brendol were still at the Academy during this time, and they might have been captured as prisoners of war if it wasn't for the intervention of Fleet Admiral Gallius Rax. Rax wanted to have Brendol Hux on his Shadow Council, an organization that was meant to figure out what the future of the Empire would be after the death of Palpatine, and so the very secretive Rax told Grand Admiral Ray Sloane that the Empire needs children, and tasked her with rescuing the Huxes from Arcanus. His father was tasked with raising a child army, and was thus a very prominent member on the Shadow Council, one who always got on Ray Sloane's nerves, and she often describes him as incompetent and just an overall slob. And a crucial change happened in his life during the Battle of Jakku. Still tailing around his father, he was a part of a very select group, which included Gallius Rax, Yup Tishu, Brendol, himself, and the small army of child soldiers. I'm going to read to you a quote from Gallius Rax, and keep in mind that Armitage is only 5 years old at this time. "You will lead these children, they will serve you, and one day soon, your father will pass down his teachings to you, and you will learn to do what he did. It will be your life's work to take children like these savages and hammer their malleable minds into whatever shape you require. They will be tools built for the work at hand. This is my gift to you, boy. One day your father will die, one day soon, I fear, and you will take his place." This comes from Empire's End, and the book explains that Armitage is much younger than some of these children, but they had been kidnapped from their homes on Jakku and brainwashed for so long that they respected his position as their absolute leader. To show how cruel he was already at the age of 5, one of the first things that Armitage does with his new child soldiers is that he orders one of the boys to strike his comrade in the face. He was very pleased that they followed his orders, and he got a personal rush out of the brutality that was involved in the event. In total, this small army was only about 24 local orphans, but it would be the stepping stone to his creation of the First Order Stormtroopers. While Rax was trying to initiate the self-destruct sequence on the Jakku Observatory, which he used to take out both the Imperial Remnant and nearly the entire New Republic fleet, he was stopped by Grand Admiral Ray Sloane, who was able to kill Rax and make her way back to the Imperialis, where the Huxes and the child soldiers were waiting for Rax's return. Sloane explained that she was in charge now, but had the coordinates for the Emperor's Super Star Destroyer, the Eclipse. She quickly puts Brendol in his place, who, remember, she had always felt disrespected by, and that he did not contain any of the dignity that should be found in such a high-ranking Imperial. And I really do have to read you this amazing quote from Sloane when she's making sure that Brendol knows who's boss. "Your son, Armitage. I know you don't like him. I suspect you hurt him. Psychologically or physically, I don't know. I don't care. You will leave him alone, and you will teach the boy everything that you know. Are we clear?" The once pompous and arrogant Brendol Hux fell in line with these few sentences, and supposedly, Armitage Hux was treated much better by his father from there on out. This small group was now hiding out in the unknown regions, and when Mas Amedda signed the Galactic Concordance, the reign of the Empire was officially over, and the New Republic was the officially recognized galactic government. Per Sloane's order, Brendol stopped beating his son, but instead focused on ways that he could physically and psychologically manipulate all of the new individuals that they were recruiting into their organization. Remember that Hux literally grew up in a training academy, and through a lifetime of listening to his father, was able to implement newer technologies into classic stormtrooper training regiments. Many of the recruits were very young, and taken from all kinds of backwater planets, where the kids really felt that they had no future. By using extremely realistic battle simulations, and constant training against other stormtroopers, it was said that the soldiers under Hux were among the most loyal of what was being called the First Order. Hux had now gained the rank of General, and was 24 years old when his father Brendol Hux had crash-landed on the planet Parnassus. There he met a local group of savages, among whom there was a woman who rebelled against her clan, and was so impressed with the stormtroopers and the highly advanced technology that they landed with, that she and 2 of her closest allies decided to help Brendol and hopefully be accepted into the First Order. This savage woman went by the name Phasma, and they were able to get out a distress signal, which was received by Armitage Hux, who made his way to the planet, rescuing his father, and enlisting the savages he met while shipwrecked. Armitage explained that while Brendol was gone, many of the higher-ranking officials in the First Order were starting to get nervous about his disappearance, and cryptically threw in that the Supreme Leader had many things to discuss with him. Let's go ahead and pause here, and in part 2, we'll talk about how things changed for Brendol after his rescue, and see how a horrific event would bring Armitage Hux and Phasma much closer, and see how Armitage grew to his position that we saw him in during episode 7. Hope to see everybody in part 2.